top of my soon.
And that. Hey, Matt.
Always.
Oh, it's flooding. Yeah, I think you said here. I got mine.
Hey, Tim, consent agenda, it's just, there's no division of the question. I think that we approve the consent agenda. Nothing else. I have my thing in here somewhere. I got it. We record.
See, I don't. And I asked down. I know the president.
All right, first time or?
No, I think it's here.
Everybody said you can't.
I believe it.
Ready, ready.
Stand. All right, please rise for a pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Please call the roll.
Mayor Delaquila.
Here.
Assistant Director of Law Tobin. Director of Finance Herwick. Here. Councilman at Large Bicker.
Here.
Councilman at Large Kranek.
Here.
Councilman at Large Traffus.
Here.
Ward 1 Councilman Biassiata.
Here.
Ward 2 Councilman Frondorf. Ward 3 Councilman Kukrow.
Here.
Ward 4 Councilman Petro.
Here.
Director of Public Service and Properties Levis.
Here.
Building Commissioner Vitardi.
Here.
Engineer Collins.
Okay, we're going to begin with the reading and disposal of the journal meeting minutes for the regular council meeting held June 26, 2017.
Yes, Council President.
Councilman Frondor.
Having read the council minutes of the council meeting dated held June 26, 2017, I find no errors or omissions. Therefore, I move that they be approved as printed.
Second. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kranek.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
The minutes for the regular council meeting held June 26, 2017 have passed. Moving on to the consent agenda dated July 24th, 2017.
Mr. President,
Councilman Frondor.
I will be recusing myself from a vote on the consent agenda.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Mr. President,
Councilman Kukrow.
I move that if there's no, I'm sorry, start over. If there's no division of the question, I move that we accept the consent agenda for July 24th, 2017.
I second.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Kranek.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Consent agenda dated July 24, 2017 is passed. Are there any resolutions of commendation?
There are none.
Reports of committees. The Planning, Zoning, and Economic Development Committee last met on July 17th. Those meeting minutes are forthcoming, and the next meeting will be held on September 18th. Public Works Committee, Councilman Petro.
Mr. Chairman, our next meeting is September 5th, correct?
Yes. Community Services Committee, Councilman Bicker.
Last met July 6th. Minutes are on file. Next meeting is September 6th.
Thank you. Police and Safety Committee, Councilman Kranek.
Mr. President, Police and Safety Committee last met on July 17th. Minutes are forthcoming. Our next meeting is September 18th.
Thank you. Parks and Recreation, Councilman Kukrow.
Thank you, Mr. President. Our next meeting is September 18th.
Rules, Ordinances, and Ethics, Councilman Biassiata.
Thank you, Mr. President. Our last meeting was July 5th. Meeting minutes are on file. Our next meeting will be September 5th.
Thank you. Finance, Civil Service, and Personnel, Councilman Frondor.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Our last meeting was held on July 17th. Our next meeting will be held on September 5th. The minutes from the July 17th meeting are forthcoming.
Thank you. Are there any appointments and confirmations? Communications, petitions, and claims.
Yes, Ms.
Wait, she's going to read it.
Sorry.
I have a letter to read into the record from Robert J. Leach, 5739 Rock Haven Drive. He's writing, Dear City Council members, the purpose of this letter is to formally request the return of my donation of $1,200 given in 2015 to the City of Seven Hills. This money was given with the clear understanding that it was to be used for the installation of a T-ball field in North Park. It appears that the mayor and council of Seven Hills no longer wish to have this field placed in North Park in the foreseeable future. Therefore, it is the moral obligation of the city to return this money to me, as it will not be used for the purpose it was donated. Even though I had received the go-ahead from both council and the mayor's office and invested an enormous amount of time and personal monetary funds into the project and had found volunteers to donate labor, expertise, and some materials, this needed improvement to North Park was no longer supported by the city. My heart and love of the children of Seven Hills and the baseball has not changed, and I still have a strong desire to serve the city's Seven Hills residents wherever or however it is needed. So if and when ever the city would want to go forward with this needed field in North Park, I would be delighted to spearhead the project. Your kind consideration and response to my request is appreciated. Very truly yours, God bless, Robert J. Leach.
Thank you, Carol. Anything further?
That's all I have.
Mr. President,
Councilman Frondor.
I'd like to make a floor motion to accept the moral claim of Robert Leach.
I second.
Is there any discussion? Please call it.
Mr. President.
Councilman Kukrow.
So for people who weren't in the caucus meeting last week, we just talked about this. We're turning this down. At least I'm voting no on it because the money spent far exceeds already what he donated. The project turned out from what it was supposed to be, it was very small, and then he tried to increase it to, I don't want to get into the whole details, but we did spend the money. It's not like we're turning it down and the city didn't spend it. The money was spent in time and labor and materials by the city, and something was built. So that's it.
Thank you, Councilman. Anything further? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
No.
Frondor.
No.
Kranek.
No.
Kukrow.
No.
Petro.
No.
Traffus.
No.
Bicker.
No.
Moral claim has been denied. Council will now be open to the audience on legislation only. If you have any comments regarding anything on our agenda this evening, please approach the podium and state your name and address. Okay, moving on to ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 89, 2017.
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman
I
Petro.
move that council suspends the rules under the charter and reads ordinance 89, 2017 for its final reading.
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kranek.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Ordinance number 89, 2017, introduced by Mayor Delacuilla and Councilman Traffus, Frondor, Bicker, Kranek, Biassiata, Kukrow, and Petro. An ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into an agreement on behalf of the city of Seven Hills, Ohio, with the treasurer of state of Ohio for the purpose of performing a financial statement audit for the fiscal year 2016 and appropriating a sum not to exceed $25,000 for said service.
Ordinance number 89, 2017 has been read for its third and final reading. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman Petro.
I move that council passes ordinance 89, 2017.
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kranek.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Ordinance number 89, 2017 has passed.
Mr. President,
Councilman Frondor.
I would like to make another floor motion to recall the referral to the Planning Commission for their review of freestanding multi-unit residential buildings.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kranek.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Floor motion has passed. Moving on to amended ordinance number 90, 2017.
Mr. President,
Councilman Kranek.
I make motion that we read amended ordinance number 90, 2017 by title only, declaring emergency.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kranek.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Amended ordinance number 90, 2017, introduced by Mayor Delacuilla and Councilman Traffus, Frondor, Bicker, Kranek, Biassiata, Kukrow, and Petro. An ordinance to amend Section 979.02 permitted uses, Section 979.04 prohibited uses, and Section 979.14 building height, all as contained in Chapter 979 Rockside Road South, Planned Unit Development District of Title IX Zoning Use Districts of Part 9 Planning and Zoning Code of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Seven Hills, Ohio, for the purposes of permitting freestanding multi-unit residential buildings and residential building heights up to 60 feet in accordance with this chapter and declaring an emergency.
Amended ordinance number 90, 2017 has been read for its second and final reading. Is there a motion?
Mr. President,
Councilman Kranek.
I'd like to make a motion that we pass amended ordinance number 90, 2017.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes. Thank you. I apologize. No.
Frondor.
No.
Kranek.
No.
Kukrow.
No.
Petro.
No.
Traffus.
No.
Bicker.
No.
Amended ordinance number 90, 2017 has been defeated. Moving on to amended ordinance number 92, 2017.
Mr. President,
Councilman Kukrow.
I move that we read amended ordinance number 92, 2017 by title only for its final reading.
Second motion, Mr. Chairman.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kranek.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Amended ordinance number 92, 2017, introduced by Mayor Delacuilla and Councilman Traffus, Frondor, Bicker, Kranek, Biassiata, Kukrow, and Petro. An ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into a 3-year agreement on behalf of the city of Seven Hills with Fit Technologies of Cleveland, Ohio, to provide network as a service solution, service as a service, and Microsoft Office 365 migration, which includes but is not limited to network infrastructure, installation, and ongoing administration at the City of Seven Hills City Hall, appropriating an amount that shall not exceed $124,038 for said service. That's $35,304 annually for 3 years, and a one-time charge of $18,126, and declaring an emergency.
Amended ordinance number 92, 2017 has been read for its second and final reading. Is there a motion?
Mr. President,
Councilman Kukrow.
move that we pass amended ordinance number 92, 2017.
Second motion, Mr. Chairman.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kranek.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Amended ordinance number 92, 2017 has passed. Moving on to amended ordinance number 93, 2017.
Mr. President,
Councilman Bicker.
I move that we suspend the rules under the charter and read amended ordinance 93-2017 by title only for its second reading and declaring an emergency.
I'll second that, Mr. President.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kranek.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Amended ordinance number 93, 2017, introduced by Councilman Traffus, Frondor, Bicker, Kranek, Biassiata, Kukrow, and Petro. An ordinance to amend ordinance number 96, 2016, passed by council on August 23, 2016, which authorized and directed the mayor to enter into a one-year comprehensive managed service agreement with Fit Technologies of Cleveland, Ohio, to provide comprehensive managed services and support of the City of Seven Hills computers in all departments, and appropriated the sum not to exceed $44,814 for said services and support by adding and supplementing Addendum B, backup as a service agreement, reducing the monthly service fee by $100 a month relating to migration of email environment to Office 365 and declaring an emergency.
Amended ordinance number 93, 2017 has been read for its second and final reading. Is there a motion?
Mr. President,
Councilman Bicker.
I move that we pass amended ordinance 93-2017.
Second that, Mr. President.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kranek.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Amended ordinance number 93, 2017 has passed. Moving on to ordinance number 98, 2017.
Mr. President,
Councilman
I
Frondor.
move that council suspends the rules under the charter and reads ordinance 98, 2017 by title only for its first and final reading and declaring an emergency.
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kranek.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Ordinance number 98, 2017, introduced by Mayor Delacola and Councilman Traffus, Frondor, Bicker, Kranek, Biassiata, Kukrow, and Petro. An ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into an agreement on behalf of the City of Seven Hills, Ohio, with Richard L. Bowen and Associates Incorporated of Cleveland, Ohio, for professional services for the 2017 Catch Basin and Curb Reconstruction Program throughout the City of Seven Hills, authorizing an amount not to exceed $3,910 for said service and declaring an emergency.
Ordinance number 98, 2017 has been read for its first and final reading. Is there a motion?
Yes, Mr. President,
Councilman
I
Frondor.
move that we pass ordinance number 98, 2017.
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kranek.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Ordinance number 98, 2017 has passed. Moving on to ordinance number 99, 2017.
Mr. President,
Councilman Biassiata.
I move that we suspend the rules under charter and read ordinance number 99-2017 for its first and final reading.
I'll second that, Mr. President.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kranek.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Ordinance number 99, 2017, introduced by Mayor Delacola and Councilman Traffus, Frondor, Bicker, Kranek, Biassiata, Kukrow, and Petro. An ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into a collective bargaining agreement on behalf of the City of Seven Hills, Ohio, with the Ohio Patrolmen's Benevolent Association, Patrolman and Sergeant, for the purpose of memorializing wage negotiations with various police department employees and declaring an emergency.
Ordinance number 99, 2017 has been read for its first and final reading. Is there a motion?
Mr. President,
Councilman Biassiata.
I move that we pass ordinance 99-2017.
I will second that, Mr. President.
Is there any discussion? I want to take a moment to recognize our law director, Rich Pignatello, and Councilman Frondor, who chairs our finance committee, for the work they did on this negotiation. This one was tougher than the previous two. I wish it didn't get as far as it went. It cost us, a good chunk of money, but it ultimately worked out. And I want to thank Tim and Rich for their work on that. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kranek.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Ordinance number 99, 2017 has passed. Moving on to ordinance number 100, 2017.
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman
I
Petro.
move that council suspends the rules under the charter and reads ordinance 100, 2017 by title only for its final reading.
I second the motion.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kranek.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Ordinance number 100, 2017, introduced by Councilman Traffus, Frondor, Bicker, Kranek, Biassiata, Kukrow, and Petro. An ordinance authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into an agreement on behalf of the city of Seven Hills, Ohio, with Pro Construction of Cleveland, Ohio, appropriating an amount not to exceed $36,250 for the 2017 catch basin and curb reconstruction project throughout the city of Seven Hills and declaring an emergency.
Ordinance number 100, 2017 has been read for its first and final reading. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Councilman Petro.
I move that council passes ordinance 100, 2017.
I second.
Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mr. President.
Councilman Frondor.
I'd just like to say that it's interesting, the number. This ordinance is number 100, notwithstanding the fact that it's for sewer basin and curb repair, but this represents the 100th piece of legislation that this council has touched in the first 6 months or so of this year. And the interesting thing is we're ahead. We've had more legislation placed before us this year than we had last year, and last year was a record year. So if anyone says that this council is not a working council, all they need to do is take a look at what we've done over the past 6-7 months.
Thank you, Councilman. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kranek.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Ordinance number 100, 2017 has passed. Moving on to resolution number 35, 2017.
Mr. President,
Councilman Bicker.
I move that we suspend the rules under the charter and read Resolution 35-2017 for its first time and declaring an emergency.
Second.
Is there a discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kranek.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Resolution number 35, 2017, introduced by Mayor Delacuilla and Councilman Traffus, Frondor, Bicker, Kranek, Biassiata, Kukrow, and Petro. A resolution approving and accepting a temporary utility easement granted to the city of Seven Hills, Ohio by Kenneth Smolinski for the installation, construction, and maintenance of utilities together with all appurtenances, appropriating the sum not to exceed $340 for the acquisition of said easement and declaring an emergency.
Resolution number 35, 2017 has been read for its first and final reading. Is there a motion?
Mr. President,
Councilman Bicker.
I move that we adopt Resolution 35-2017.
Second.
Is there a discussion? Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kranek.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Resolution number 35, 2017 has been adopted. Okay, council will now be open to the audience. If you have any comments regarding anything at all, please approach the podium and state your name and address. Okay, we'll move on to reports and communications from the mayor and safety director, Mayor Delacuilla.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report this evening.
Thank you, Mayor. Reports from the directors of departments and other officials. Director of Finance, Sonia Herwick.
I have nothing to report this evening.
Thank you. Assistant Director of Law, Christine Tobin.
Nothing further to report this evening.
Thank you. Director of Public Service and Properties, Stuart Levis.
No report.
City Engineer, Dan Collins.
My report's on file with the clerk. Other than that, no further report.
Thank you. Building Commissioner, Richard Vitardi.
No report this evening.
Thank you. Let's see, Council Miscellaneous. Let's start at the end today. Councilman Biassiata.
Thank you, Mr. President. No comment.
Thank you. Councilman Bicker.
Just home days is in full swing. It's not too late to volunteer, and no donation is too small or too big. And if you know any volunteers, send them my way or Tony Terry's. That's all, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilman Kranek.
Yes, Mr. President, as was pointed out by Councilman Fondor, we've worked very hard and had a lot of legislation that's gone through. And the person I think that's worked the hardest, and I want to recognize, is Carol Securica, our clerk. She's just been wonderful. God bless you, honey. We love you.
Thank you.
I passed.
Gray hairs.
Thank you, Councilman. I'll second that. Councilman Kukrow.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, Home Days is this weekend. I'm really excited that it's coming back. And Tony Terry's been doing a great job of organizing it this year and keeping costs down. And I'm really excited. The weather is supposed to be fantastic, like 75 degrees and no rain all weekend. So, no, that's not how it works.
Promise?
But no, I'm really looking forward to it. And see you there.
My father always used to say when it rained during home days, it was council's fault. If it didn't rain, it was the mayor's credit. Now I think we reverse that. Councilman Petro.
No miscellaneous, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Councilman Frondorf.
Just like to say I'm looking forward to Home Days as well. I think it's going to be a very well-attended and obviously a very well-planned event by Tony Terry.
Thank you, Councilman. My only comments tonight are very briefly in reflection of the past year and a half. 2016 was quite a year where a lot of changes were made and a lot of work was put in to change the financial status of our city. And with the summer upon us and all that work behind us, it is so very exciting that we're about to begin some major programs in our city. 17 streets are being fully or partially repaired in the next month or so. We're beginning a major catch basin repair program, curb repairs, crack sealing, and sewer repair programs are being identified by our engineering department and service department. This is a very, very big deal for this city. We're going to be seeing orange barrels in construction across Seven Hills for the next couple months, and that has been a goal of this council as a whole. We accomplished it, and I want to congratulate all our council members for doing that with the help of our residents. With that, I'm going to make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Please call the roll.
Biassiata.
Yes.
Frondor.
Yes.
Kranek.
Yes.
Kukrow.
Yes.
Petro.
Yes.
Traffus.
Yes.
Bicker.
Yes.
Meeting's adjourned.
Wow.
Christine, I have